I'm Casey Samson. I'm the current owner of Samson Family Leather. Samson Family Leather is the parent company of Reliving History magazine, along with Samson Historical. Both of those companies deal with the 18th century, and Samson Leather works for the modern products such as our belts and wallets, purses and bags. We also sell tools and dyes, and Samson Leather also manufactures the products that we sell that are leather in the 18th century store, Samson Historical. This industry started back in 1982 officially as a business from my grandfather, Jack Samson. He started the business as Jack's Jacks. And Jack at the time was, what he was referring to was a leather mug. The leather mugs are kind of our flagship item. It's what we've been known for the last 30 years. In fact, we just celebrated 35 years last year. It was also our 35th Feast of the Hunter's Moon up in Lafayette, Indiana, where this whole tradition really started. And my father took that over some kind of debate, but probably in the mid to late 90s. It wasn't an official purchase, but my grandfather was kind of getting out. My dad decided to give in. And then in 2011, I purchased it from my father. And when we transitioned from my dad to myself, there was only really the leather products, the drinking vessels in particular. We had bookmarks, which we called Bible markers at the time, and we had some other little pouches and bags, but for the most part it was just the leather products. And shortly after I took over the business, my now wife and I had talked about maybe expanding into other products for the reenacting. We both enjoyed living history in the 18th century and saw that there could be room for another merchant in the field, and so we took that leap. It all started with some beeswax candles, and now we've got over 150 products in our catalog. And so it changed rapidly, but schedulely over the last 6 years. And in January of this year, of 2018, we produced a catalog, a full color, large format catalog that showcased all of our 150 products. And that was quite the accomplishment. It took a long time to get there, and we're happy to get there. And then in July of 2017, Abby produced a written article about the clay pipes, and we saw potential there for another side business. And first it was just going to be an online blog, and then we quickly realized that this could be a great asset to the hobby and a great asset to history in general. So over many long nights and lots of planning, months of planning, we decided to start our magazine, which was Reliving History. And we talked to some dear friends of ours to help us get started, and we took just every bit of advice we could. And that's how Reliving History started. And we just finished designing and printing our latest issue, which is the second issue. And we're just so excited to get started on that side of the business. And it's been great to see how all three businesses work together. All of our employees, all of our family members realize that those are three facets to our company, and it really takes all three of them to make everything work. But what's fascinating is they each depend on each other in one way, shape, or form. With the leather company, one day we may be making modern knife sheaths, but then the next day we're turning around and reproducing 18th century drinking vessels. Then with the historical side, we have everything from clothing to supplies for museums and reenactors, and it's just a wide variety of items. And The demand for those leather reproduction items keeps the leather department thriving.
I'm Cody, and I'm in the work-based learning program at Lebanon High School. And what we'll do is we'll internship around Lebanon at small businesses. I chose to internship here just because it's a small business, and my family also runs a small business, and I would just like to see how everything is run. And also, I really like to work with my hands, so this would be a good place for me to start. Here at the shop, we obviously work with a lot of leather. We do small things like knife sheaths, and like today I'm working on garters. But we also make a lot of big things. We make a lot of purses, bags, even belts. I mean, we can make endless variety of things.
My name's Nick, and I'm the manufacturing manager here at Samson Leather. And what that kind of means is I make sure all of our purchase orders are going out in time, and also making sure that the quality of those items are up to our standards as well. A lot of products we do, typically what I'm doing is the knife sheaths. I do anywhere between 60 and 120 knife sheaths when we get those orders. And typically, we have a few styles in there, but we have upwards of 12 to 13 different styles. So one thing we have to really keep an eye out for is our quality. We want to make sure that all of the products we sell are high-end quality and up to, again, our standards of quality control. So that's so much as even if there's like a scratch on a piece of leather, we'll try to avoid that area of being used. And if it's unavoidable, we scrap that and use a new piece. I like being part of a family business because it's fun that I get to get paid to hang out with my brother and sister-in-law, and everyone that comes in here is either hardworking or they're really good friends with everyone else who's here. So it's really hard to have a bad day at work when everyone that is involved in your work day just plays such an important role in your life.
I'm Darla Samson, and I met Bob in 1990 when he had the shoe repair shop just south on Meridian Street. I had a clothing store and he had a shoe repair, and we'd cross, and I was able to talk to him and see, and really got interested in a lot of the stuff that he was doing. And the more that we talked, the more we dated, and I got to participate more with what his family did. When I think of a family business, I think of everybody working together to make it work, whether it's passing out flyers, selling, running the register, selling things, painting, anything that you can do. If it's just loading a box, putting envelopes together, going to the mailbox, to deliver things that need to be shipped. When I think of family, family is always there to help the other one so that it is successful, and we all work together for one main goal. I have a heart that Bob made for me when we were dating back in 1990 that says, "I love you," and he had to hand chisel each one, and I still have it. And we'll be married 25 years this July. So that's pretty cool. I like it.
My name is Brian Samson. I work at Samson Family Leather. Started doing shot glasses. I now do, I'll do a lot of the maintenance, everything from the vehicles I take. Sometimes I'll fix some things around the shop when one of the machines will break. One of my favorite things about working for the family business is you get to work with your family, and we all pretty well get along since we pretty well grew up with each other. One of my best memories is probably when we first started, watching everything grow and all the new equipment to, I don't know, just watching everything expand from the house to the shop and everything get bigger, and watching orders and everything else come in.
My name is Jacki Leal, and I'm the shipping and receiving manager here at Samson Leather. I run the warehouse as well. I package orders and I send them out, and I pack the road for all the new inventory. I also do some of the sewing here when it comes to doing the tags on the clothing or sewing some of the leather products on the other side of the business. One of the many skills that I've learned here is sewing, and I've learned to sew a wallet from start to finish, and I never expected to do that. One of the better things about working here is that we're all around the same age, so it's pretty comfortable when it comes to asking questions, or I like organizing everything. I don't know. I like keeping everybody in order because I know you guys need me the most for that.
I'm Abby Samson. I'm married to Casey. We met in high school and he introduced me to this world of living history and I really fell in love with it. Now my job here, my day-to-day tasks involve customer service, so I constantly communicating with customers via email, phone, answering questions. I also place any orders for supplies and things like that we might need. And my favorite job that I have right now is I'm the editor of Reliving History magazine. The great thing about Reliving History is the ability for us to ask these in-depth questions and then find answers and have a conversation about all these detailed topics. It's great that we can find people that are so passionate about history and in these little niches, and we can change the conversation in the historical community with that, with our answers. Social media is a lot of fun because it gives us a platform to really interact with our customers and find out what they like, what they want, and to really see what we can do to improve the history community as a whole.
I'm Bob, second generation here at Samson Family Leather. Back in mid-70s, mid to late 70s when I joined Boy Scouts, my father and I really got involved with leatherwork, and from there it just kind of evolved. Around early 80s, 1981 or 80, 81, we got involved with Living History. And from there, we were looking at a way to get more involved. And we found a way by doing that by creating leatherwork, mostly at that time for the 18th century period. And it just evolved from there. I took over in the late 1990s, early 2000. 2011, I had turned the reins over to my son Casey, let him take over, and to create what we have now. To think that, you know, the business that he has created now started in our home many years ago with just me and my father and just some ideas. The first products we made were belts, some nice scabbards, and then we got into making antique leather drinking vessels and shot glasses, and then all kinds of modern and 18th century period leatherwork. To be still part of the family business today is, you know, it's a dream come true. I was never able to take our family business to this extreme. When my son took over, Casey took over, things really began to pop for him, really began to take off, and it's evolved into more than what I ever imagined it could be. You know, I got so many favorite memories here at the shop. I guess the most recent one would just probably be around Christmas, just this past Christmas. 2017, when we were all in here for Small Business Saturday, and people were just coming in left and right. We were busy, we were making belts, we were making product, and it was just a truly awesome feeling. Now, I'm still here every Saturday, at least most Saturdays that we're not out doing 18th century events. Still do a little bit of demonstrating craftsmen at the events. But when I'm here on Saturdays, I'm here to greet the customers, do whatever, maybe small custom repairs that can be made, make a belt, help catch up with orders in the back. Just whatever I'm needed for, whatever role I need to play that day is what I'm here for. You know, my advice to any future generation business owner is to follow your dream, stay in your footsteps. Don't let anybody hold you down and keep going. You know, I had my dream that I took as far as I could. I was able to pass it on, and it went a lot further, and it can go further yet.